Chase Hooter, everybody. We're going to do a couple songs off of his current album. Are you selling your album here today, by the way? I'm not. You're not? Okay, so you're going to go to his website and buy it, right? Right. Yes. Okay. All right, where do you want to count up in?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, we got one more with Chase. Here we go.
job. Good job. I love you.
All right. Well, that was exciting. We have a twofer today. You have another great guest coming up shortly. And right now, though, we're going to ask you to please stand on your feet. We're going to stretch and do our morning song, and it goes like this.
All right, let's go. All right, here we go.
Woke up this morning with my mind set
Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hey, say hello to somebody around you. Living and loving with my mind set on Spirit. Living and loving with my mind set on Spirit. Living and loving with my mind set on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. All right. Woo! Good morning. Oh, well, thank you, Gary.
Good morning, Steph.
Are you on? Are you on?
I'm not on.
There.
Now I'm on.
Ready?
Hello?
There we
Hello.
go.
Welcome.
Oh, you know what? Wait. We're not going to do that yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My bad. My bad. I have an order here that I didn't share with you.
Right, yeah.
Let's, because we're not going to see you on the 4th of July, I'd like everyone to stand up because I want us to sing America the Beautiful together. So in honor of our 4th of July next week, so let's celebrate that. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesties, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Okay, we're not going to say the pledge or any of that today? The pledge of
No, I
allegiance?
forgot.
All right, never mind.
We'll do that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, part 2. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert. It is a pleasure to see all of you here today, and I hope you're doing well. I know you are if you're here. So my name is Dale Olansky, and I'm the lead practitioner here at the center. Dr. Laura is with her family celebrating her little granddaughter's 2-year birthday. Isn't that great? Wonderful. So I will be taking her place today, and I'll start with our announcements. So we've got our World Peace Meditation this Wednesday at 6 p.m. here in the sanctuary. And this is a wonderful time for us to gather together in the silence and just focus on peace. Peace for ourselves, peace for our community, and peace for our world. It's about half hour, 45 minutes. So join us 6 p.m. this Wednesday. And next, Soul Sisters is not going to be taking place on Thursday. Reverend Rebecca, is it going to be Wednesday, though? You'll have your Wednesday? Yes? Okay. So the Thursday evening one will not be happening because of Independence Day. And I would like to introduce one of my favorite people, Lori Savage. She's a practitioner and a fellow ministerial student, and she has a class coming up.
Hi, everyone. Well, my name is Lori Savage, and I have 2 words for you, free and food. They're two of my favorite words. So next Sunday, I invite you right after service to go over to the Om Room. We're going to have something to eat, and we're going to watch the DVD, The Energy of Money, at no cost, and we'll have a little discussion to see if that class is right for you. And I can share with you, it had such an impact on me when I started in a group just like this that I ended up going up north and studying with Maria Namath, the author, for years. That's how much of an impact it had on me. Not only did I change my relationship with money, but I changed my relationships in general. Because the good news is life is like a hologram, and if you change your relationship in one area, it changes everything. And to me, that's pretty awesome. So this whole class is about infusing your life with clarity, focus, ease, and grace. And just want to have the opportunity to have a conversation. I know money is a tough thing to look at for most people, but I promise we'll do it with a light heart and a lot of joy. So I hope you'll come out and join me next Sunday after service. Thank you.
Wonderful.
And our last game day was such a huge success. We're having another one on July 7th, 11:30 a.m. after services. If you want information, we do have flyers out in the foyers, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I know when we gather and play games, it's just over the top, good stuff. And we have Fly High Living, which will be a workshop seminar given by Laura Meeks, who is an amazing, amazing coach. Do you want to stand up, Laura, so they see your beautifulness? So that will be Sunday, July 14th, following services. She's absolutely amazing at inspiring us to live our lives and live our dreams. So if you want any information, you can see Laura. I'm sure you'll be out in the outside area after services. And next, Francine Ward, our practitioner, is going to be teaching a class on the Course in Miracles. It's not your traditional Course in Miracles group. She's going to talk about it and teach what it is, because there's a lot of people who've heard about it, but they don't know what it is, and she'll be teaching that. And that'll be Monday, July 15th. She has two classes, 9 to 11 a.m. and 6 to 8 p.m. And if you have questions, I think we've got more information out there. I think that's it. All right, Jerry Lynn, you're up.
I'm so excited. You're going to love this next gentleman. Okay, so his name is Tony Patler, Anthony Patler. And if you don't know, he's actually a local here from the high desert. But Tony has a history that's amazingly long. He's worked with Shaka Khan, George Michael, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Patti LaBelle, and the list goes on and on and on. He's an amazing pianist and a great singer. Please put your hands together for Anthony Patler.
Whoa.
And there you have it.
From the 5,
Oh.
2, 3, 4. Nothing for nothing, lose nothing.
And by the way,
Wow. Well, you know, I've been trying to shake it up for the summer, right? I mean, the talks have been different, everything's been different, kind of make some different things happen. So, wow, that was amazing.
I
Wow.
forgot to mention too that he's currently touring with Dave Mason. So if you see Dave Mason listed anywhere, go.
Oh my,
He
wow.
plays the piano with him.
Well, one of our ministerial students, you know her. She just did the announcement. We love her. Let's welcome Dale Olansky, everybody. Give her our support.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, normally when I'm up here, it's because I'm giving a talk about a Jewish holiday. So, but today I am so excited because I get to talk about whatever I want to talk about. And that could be dangerous. Just kidding. Just kidding. No. I would love to see a show of hands. How many Game of Thrones fans do we have here in our congregation? Right on! Well, I too, I'm a fan. And my favorite character is Daenerys Targaryen, right? She was an amazing character. She was a powerhouse. She was mystical and magical. She had dragons. She was able to come out of a fire unscathed. And she was able to amass a huge army because it was her mission to free all the enslaved people that were in this mythical kingdom. And she became known as the Breaker of Chains. And when I was watching the show and I first heard that name, Breaker of Chains, I had a really emotional reaction to it. And I thought, that's a little strange. That's inappropriate. Why should I be having that kind of response to somebody who's called the Breaker of Chains? And so I reflected on that and I realized that this teaching, Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes is the Breaker of Chains. He breaks our chains, this philosophy. It breaks the chains that we are enslaved in that keep us from seeing the divine presence that we are. It breaks the chains from our conditioning that tells us that we are less than, that we aren't good enough. It breaks all of those chains. And on the very first page, the first chapter of the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes says, the divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained. Right there, he sets it up, right? That book, right on. That book, this philosophy is all about freedom, freedom of the soul, freedom of the spirit to live what it's here to live the authentic, to be free in who we are, fully self-expressed. Now, when I came to this center 18 years ago, if you can believe that, 18 years, wow. Time flies when you're expanding your consciousness. I will tell you that. I will tell you that. It just goes right by. But anyways, so when I was here, and it was Dr. Tom, who was the senior pastor, and he said that thing he said before every service. You are a very valuable, worthwhile person. And the chain broke. And the divine within me rose up and said, here I am. And my chain was broken to be able to see that within me was so much goodness, because when I came into this center, I was so chained up. I didn't know who I was. I felt less than. I didn't know there was anything inside me that was worth expressing. But when I heard that, I saw there was life inside of me, life I didn't know existed. And so it was now able to come out and be freely expressed. And when I heard that there is good, a power for good in the universe, and I can use it, another chain broke, and I saw that I am not a victim. I am not a victim of my circumstances, of my life. I have power to create a life of my dreams because the power of God is strong, and it says yes to me. And so I can do what I'm here to do because that power is love, and that power is everywhere, and that power is who I am. And when I heard that principle is unbound by precedent, another chain broke. And I saw that my past is the past. It is not coming forward anymore because the principle, the spiritual principle, does not hold on to my past. I might, the principle doesn't. So when I let go of my past and I see that it's a clean slate, and if I come from a place of spirit, I can create the greatest life ever. So you can see how this has affected me personally. My chains, they've broken and they continue to break. And so this week before us, we celebrate Independence Day. when our forefathers broke a big chain and they created a country for us to live in, to live freely, to have peace, to have the pursuit of happiness, to live as we desire to live. As we're celebrating on Thursday, I encourage you, in between the barbecues and the fireworks and binge watching Netflix, whatever you're doing, take a moment, just take a moment and ask yourself, is something still chaining me? Is something restricting me from being who I am, living authentically, having the life I want to live, health, wealth, all that good stuff? Is something chaining me? And if it is, break the chain. Break the chain, because you're here to live in freedom. And the divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained. Thank you.
Good job, Dale. Breathe. I know. Now's when all the bodily functions go, okay, you can kick in now. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Today's also World Pride Day, so we celebrate our LGBTQ community. And I couldn't be prouder of our community, because our community has always embraced those who felt like they were alienated, they didn't have a place to go, whether because of their religion, their color of their skin, their sexual preferences, all of that. We've always been embracing people going, you're home. This is your spiritual home. No one's going to judge you here. No one's going to pass any kind of judgments or tell you you should live a certain way. They're just going to be here to love you, because love is what the universal answer is and always will be. So let's say our mission statement together. We are a dynamic, open, and positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our mission is to awaken you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. We are changing lives, one heart at a time. For those of you who are new, this is when we go into our meditation. So take a deep breath in, get comfortable in your chair, uncross your hands and your leg. Allow yourself to sit straight up, chin up just a little bit, looking into the horizon, because we know that something wonderful is going to come our way. Allow yourself to be open and receptive to whatever you need to hear today. Allow yourself to release that which is holding you in bondage, and accept the idea that as you release that, you allow something greater to take its place, and you don't need to know what it is right now. All you need to do is be fully present, concentrating on your breath, allowing the thing that's breathing you to continue to breathe you. Take a deep breath in, exhale out. We can change the world, one heart at a time. And we can change the world, one heart at a time. I see you, I know you. You're a part of me, and we can change the world, one heart at a time. And we can change the world, one heart at a time.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Desert. I recognize that God is the source and the substance of all there is. God is constantly recreating itself anew. It includes the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. Each sacred moment is an eternal presence, for there's nothing outside of God. Being a child of God and knowing that this is true for me, I know that it's true for all beings and all forms of creation. And coming from a place of wholeness, I dedicate this prayer for myself and for all of mankind in the midst of political, national, and world events. And I choose to see this time as a time of awakening. And I know that it begins with me. Where there is hate and fear, I show love and understanding. I practice kindness in my daily activities, and I am open for forgiveness and constructive action. And I seek the experience for inclusiveness, and I know that all of the tools and the answers are there for us to maintain and sustain the balance, the diversity, and the harmony of nature for all of mankind. And I am grateful for the shift in my awareness and the actions in my life, for I know that I am a participant in helping to change lives one heart at a time. So with this, I release my word to the law, knowing that it is done, and together we say, and so it is. Amen.
So get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Please join me. The lyrics are on the screen. So get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready one more time. Get ready, my soul. Let's take a deep breath in. Just take a journey with me. In your imagination, just allow yourself looking into the eyes of people from all over the world. Different cultures, different religions, different continents. Just people different than you. And recognize our unity with them. Take another deep breath in. And please join me. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. Change people, cultures. Do it again. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. Let's bring it up. Here we go. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love.
I say, people get ready. There's a train coming. Don't need no baggage. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket. Just thank the Lord. Yeah. I say, people, get ready for the train to Jordan, picking up passengers from coast to coast. Well, faith is the key, open the doors and boredom, 'cause there's love for all those who are loved the most. Yeah. Going up now. I say there ain't no room for the hopeless sinner who would hurt all mankind just to save his own. Have pity on those whose chances grow thinner, 'cause there's no hiding place from the kingdom's throne. I say, people, get ready. You better get ready. I say, people, get ready. Get on board. People, get ready. Yeah, get ready. You don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. I say, people, get ready. Ooh, you better get ready. People, get ready. On board. People, get ready. On board. You don't need no ticket. Yeah, you just thank the
You guys. Wow. Wait, hold it there. Let's all of our musicians stand up. Let's hear from our musicians and our singers. And Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn, thank you. And believe it or not, I'm such a bad minister sometimes. I changed my mind and I said, you know what, can we do something a little different, this weekend? And it was like Friday. And she said, yeah, let me see what I can put together. I think she did an outstanding job, Jerry Lynn. Thank you. So my talk title is whatever it is in the program, but that's really not it. Hey, Eddie. What happened was, this is my friend Eddie. Say hi, Eddie. Hi. So what happened, go ahead, Eddie, take a seat. So on Thursday night, Eddie and I were having a drink together, and I was 2 mojitos in. That's why it says right there, 2 mojitos in. And
One
Eddie
too
said
many.
to me, he said, are we going to sure on? And Eddie said to me, what's your talk title going to be? And I told him, and I said, man, I don't like the talk title. He said, well, why don't you talk about this? And I said, well, I don't want to talk about that. And he said, why don't you talk about this? And I said, I don't want to talk about that. Finally, I said, why don't you just do my talk? And so Eddie went, okay. And I went, what have I done? So we decided that he would come up with some questions that I haven't seen. I know. And I told him it's kind of like Pick a Page, but different because Pick a Page, I know my textbook, right? I have no idea what's going to come out of this. And so I just said, let's give it a shot. Let's see what that's like. So let's welcome Eddie, everybody.
Thank you. I'm so honored too.
Stand up.
I've been coming here for about a year now, and I was a minister for 22 years in an evangelical setting, and I came out gay 9 years ago, and life changed completely. And I came here, and my life really changed. So I am so honored to be able to do this with him. So I'm not going to choose which ones either. I'm just going to turn the page and throw them at him. So.
Oh, God. All right, go.
And I'll tell you, he texted me like 6 times. You want to give me those questions? No, you don't get them. Okay, just right off the bat, what are 1 or 2 books you would want everyone here to read?
The Science of Successful Living, I think, is probably the most powerful book I've ever read. It's by Raymond Charles Barker. That's why we teach that class all the time. We teach that class because within it, I believe, is the compilation, the quick version of the science of mind, soup to nuts. Because the Science of Mind textbook is 475 pages. And it's a lot. It's a lot to digest. And you could take 2 or 3 years going through the entire textbook. But the Science of Successful Living, the most dynamic book, I believe, and it's written by a guy, it's not one of the New Age guys from, 10 years ago. This is written by one of the founders of religious science, Raymond Charles Barker. So that's the first one. The second one would be the 4 Agreements. Yeah. If I were to marry a class, and I like this because I'll be teaching the 4 Agreements next year, the Science of Successful Living, and then the 4 Agreements, you have everything you need to live a life that's filled with integrity. And I truly believe that if you were to follow that guideline, you would feel like your life is more authentic and true and very, very productive. You won't take a lot of things personally that are happening in the world. I see it every day. I see it every day in social media, people taking things personally when really this is not about things personal. This is about just people talking. We can't even have conversations anymore without fear of offending someone. And I'm not really comfortable with that. I want us to go back to the 4 Agreements where we can allow ourselves to do our very best to do. So I'm going to be teaching both of those, actually. I taught the Science of Successful Living just last year, and I'm going to be launching into the Self-Mastery class with the 4 Agreements. I think those are the 2 most profound books that we could probably read together as a faith community and work together. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should maybe I'll do that. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take the 4 Agreements and do a Sunday on each agreement. But
it's working.
But that's not going to prohibit you from taking the class. Because when you take the class, it goes much, much deeper. Much deeper. Okay, good.
Okay. What is your favorite motto?
Tomorrow? No, my favorite motto. What is
one that you live by?
Trey, what would you say my favorite motto is? Look at how he doesn't want to answer that either. My motto, what do I live by?
Time to go to brunch.
Let's get this over with.
No. I think a lot of my favorite motto is, and I don't speak it, but I live it, is this too shall pass. I think this too shall pass. I think a lot of times, we can get caught up in our personal issues. We can get caught up in the political issues. We can get caught up in national and international issues. But no matter what we do, this too shall pass. I've never had a storm that hasn't passed. Now, that doesn't mean there may not be a little damage from the storm, right? And there may not be it might not happen that I don't have to repair something after a storm. But this too shall pass. Always things move through us. Always things move through us. In fact, let me add a little something to that. Trey and I were talking because our daughter went through a series of events lately that were somewhat troublesome. And of course, and Trey looked at me, and I don't know if I told you the story or not, but he said, "Why is this happening to us? Why is this happening to us?" And I said, "It's not happening to us. It's happening to her. We're the pooper scoopers at the end of the parade." I mean, we're the guys with the bucket trying to clean it up, come in behind it. If you're a parent, you know what I'm talking about, right? Or if you're even a son or daughter, sometimes you feel like you're just following the end of the parade with the bucket. But it's not always happening to us. It's happening, some things happen through us. And someone said yesterday, who was it, Trey, that said, and for us? A friend of ours said, it's not only happening to us and through us, but for us. To learn from it, to gain from it. So I like that idea. This too shall pass, and not everything is about me taking life's events of people around me personally, because their consciousness is unfolding, and no matter how hard I try to change their consciousness, anybody ever try to do that for someone else? You're still trying, aren't you? Yeah, because you can't. They have to do it on their own. They have to do it on their own. Next one,
I heard you use the phrase thoughtmosphere.
Thoughtmosphere.
So many times.
Okay.
And I think I get it, but could you explain the concept of how do you get your thoughtmosphere from a negative balance to a positive balance?
Okay, well, a good story. In fact, Carly, I'm so glad she doesn't listen to me online. How many of you have never heard me use the word thoughtmosphere? Okay, so let me tell you about the word thoughtmosphere. Thoughtmosphere is you know how we always say it's in your consciousness? Well, sometimes people have a hard time grasping the concept, it's in my consciousness. And of course, they use it, and they go, what's in your consciousness? Like something's wrong up there, right? Well, okay, so I want you to picture, if you will, remember those science fiction movies that have like a globe, like a big glass globe around their head, like a helmet? All right, so I want you to think of yourself as your thoughtmosphere is that you have this helmet around you, right? And all of the thoughts that you think about go into this helmet. The helmet not only manifests, it's a magnifying glass. So whatever you're thinking about magnifies and then happens through your body or your demonstration in the outward world. So if I have my thoughtmosphere filled with negative images, which is really easy to do if we get caught up in world stuff and our own diagnoses and other things, we can actually, our thoughtmosphere is just filled. Picture it, your thoughtmosphere with like stick-it notes, like little post-it notes. Imagine little post-it notes all over your thoughtmosphere, right? And every time you're having thoughts, a little stick-em note goes into the thoughtmosphere. And then the universe sees that and says, oh, this is what Joe wants. It doesn't know the difference. It only says, this is what is in my thoughtmosphere, so this is what Joe wants. I screw myself by having the wrong stuff in my thougtmosphere. Are you following this? Does anyone else do that? Okay. So, we were having a conversation with my daughter, our daughter, and we were talking about what's in your thougtmosphere. And and trying to dissect what are the little stick-em notes, and some of us have recent stick-em notes in there, and some of us have had the same stick-em notes up there for decades. The patterns of behavior, the belief systems about yourself, things that you believe about yourself that aren't true, but they're in there. And they're up there, and they've been magnifying in your life every day of your life, and you wonder why they keep magnifying, but I can tell you why, because they're in your thoughtmosphere. So we had to take a different direction. I said, so let's take down what's in the thougtmosphere just for a moment, okay? And let's start putting into our thougtmosphere the things that we want to magnify through our experience. And now someone might say, how do you just take them down? You just make a choice to get over them. And that's not easy. That's not easy. But when you finally say, I no longer want to be in bondage to this, I no longer want to be held captive to this idea, I've got to stop thinking about this stuff. So when it pops up, just as easy as it pops up, you take the stick-em out and you throw it away. Just like that. You have to you discard it. But when you discard it, you put a new stick-em up and put in what you want. You can't just throw it away and not put up a new one. Because in the absence of a new one, what happens is the one you threw away somehow makes its way back up into the atmosphere. It defies gravity and goes from the trash can right on up in there. So when you look at your life is the sum total of all those stick-em notes that you've had in your head globe. Did that answer your question?
And thus ends your lesson. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, really.
Okay, so we'll change the notes a little bit. If someone donated $200,000 to the church today, what would we do with it?
I'd pee first. Just kidding. I wear my Depends. I don't worry about that anymore. Especially during a service. Right now, we need to not, and this, just listen. It's not so much about saving money, it's about investing money. And we need to invest in structures of leadership that will take this center to its next level. And not just at my level, but at every level. Because we need staff ministers, we need to have additional practitioners, we need to build our youth church back up because there's no one there that wants to head that up. So I would say I would invest that money in personnel and allow the structure to become stronger than it is today. Because I feel like we have a strong structure now. I mean, look around, I think we're doing really well. But I would take that and say to the Board of Trustees, look, we have to invest this in our infrastructure so that, as I age out and as people age out in our congregation, there's something left for people who want to be part of a ministry like this. And we are challenged. We are challenged with the fact that millennials, and there's a whole couple generations of people who don't go to church. They just don't, they don't shop in brick and mortar stores, and they don't go into brick and mortar buildings to go to church. So we're going to be challenged by keeping this alive, but I also think that we do it by doing what we do best. You can't get that feel online, and those of you who live stream know what I'm talking about. When you hear this music, and when you're in the room for the meditation, and when you're in the room and the laughter, and when you're in the room when the cries come out, when you're in the room and you feel that stuff, we have to make sure that the world knows that we're still feeling, laughing, crying, and teaching in this building. And we have to find a way to get to the right people who are savvy in that and can develop and put into our thoughtmosphere and create for our center that kind of flow. Does that make sense?
Beautiful. One of my struggles as a pastor of an old religion is understanding prayer in the manner of CSL, in the science of the mind. So could you explain what prayer is and why it's so important?
Okay. Prayer in the science of mind is the art and science of moving thought for a specific purpose. It's an art and it's a science. It's an art and science for moving thought for a specific purpose. I'm going to say it again. It's the art and science. In other words, it takes two parts of the brain, the creative part, right, the art part, and the science part, to moving thought for a specific purpose for you and your life, or whatever that may be. And so we have specific steps that we teach, because the art is your creativity part. It's the spirit trying to move you into something greater. And it's the science of knowing that A plus B equals C. That's why we don't ever say wish for something, hope for something, beg for something, negotiate for something. You will never hear those words coming from here. We don't say wish for a better life, hope for a better life. We have to know that a better life is ours now. And just as we would put a stick-em note in the thoughtmosphere that says better life now in my health, in my relationships, we would know that that's how we do that. So moving thought for a specific purpose is getting trained in that process, which is why we have a prayer workshop here at the center. You can also watch it on our website. Go to our website, hit prayer. Underneath prayer, it says prayer workshop. Plan to spend an hour and learn how to pray. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, isn't going to move your envelope. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death, amen, is not going to move your envelope when it comes to your health, your finances, or your relationship. What's going to happen is when you pray, when you put those stick-em notes in your thoughtmosphere, you're actually strategically placing them with an intention for something that you know is yours to experience. Which is why when we plant the seeds and we allow ourselves to go through the process, we begin to see them. I look around this room and I see people who've been in my classes before. Sorry to spit everywhere. I see people who have been in my classes before who struggled writing those prayers at the beginning and said, why do we have to do this? I'm like, because you have to do this. Or else you're going to live the same life over and over and over again until you do learn how to do this. And once they figure out how to do this, and they start releasing from their idea any fear that it's not coming into fruition in their life, once they do that and they release themselves and surrender into the process and the energy, then things begin to happen. And like you said you came into this place and you felt comfortable, you felt at home. There are people that have been rejected from their churches, rejected from their families. They come in here. The answer to your prayer is that we're here. Now I need you to learn even more so you can manifest more and change the culture in which we live, not just here in this center, not with the 300 and some people that are here today, but outside of these walls. And the only way to do that is effective for us to pray. The only way, you're not going to want to hear this. The only way we're going to have this ministry continue is for your prayers to be for the right team to come in. You have to pray for that. And you have to see that. If you have fear in your thoughtmosphere about what's going to happen to our center, I don't want to experience those things. So take those stick-ems down, learn how to pray, and let's see everything unfolding as it should for the highest and best good for all concerned. Last one.
Do you love his passion or what? Right?
Last one.
Last one. If you could have each person leave today and learn one spiritual concept from your life, what would it be? One thing that they would all walk out and go, got it. It wasn't going to be easy. He knew this.
That you're not alone. Everybody's as screwed up as you are. Some more. Okay, I'll give you that one.
He told me 9 or 10 on the 10 scale.
Sure, Marion. I'll let you pop in. Moses' goddaughter's here.
I thought about, could we open our eyes again, and what would we see after we'd pictured something happening from this excitement that's in the air? And I realized that unknown to me in any way, John Stearns, one of our leaders of yesterday and the year before, is sitting next to me.
Uh-huh.
And he walked several sets, or drove part of it, miles and miles and miles to hear you.
Well, I hope it was worth the drive, John. Thank you, Marion. One of the things I want people to walk away with today is not a sense of hope, but a sense of knowing. A sense of knowing that you're in your right place. And as screwed up as that may feel at sometimes, and at times when you say to yourself, that can't possibly be, you can't ever be in the wrong place. because you're God's child and it's going to be okay. And so as you walk through your life, we have to lean into our own faith. So I just want us to walk out, not hoping that things in our lives continue to improve, but knowing that they're unfolding with a great, whatever is up here, walk away with your thoughtmosphere, getting clear with what you want, not what you don't want. Put up the things you want, because I want you to know beyond knowing that you are loved, that this place adores you, and that there is a God that is for us always. For us always. That there is no such thing as a punishing God. I would want you to walk away going, you know what? I feel good about my life because my life is unfolding and it's getting even better. And if you could walk out the door, because I know some of you, I always say, Dr. Tom taught me, somebody cried themselves to sleep before they came to church the night before you do your talk. And so you remember that, Joe, because they need to walk out knowing something. Knowing something. And so I want you to walk out basically with everything I just said, but knowing that it's your truth. And live your truth. That's what I want for you. I don't want you walking out fearful of something that's moving around the world or moving around you. No, I want you to walk out faithful. That's the truth. Because that's who we really are. We've been trained to think that we're not. We've been trained to think that we're weak. We've been trained to think that we're vulnerable and subject to all sorts of illnesses. If you watch the TV, you're going to get something. Just the commercials of the prescriptions, We're being trained to believe that we're less than. And some of us allow those stickum ideas to go in, and it's just not true. Greatness happens. I love the fact that today was to me, my goal for the summer was to do things totally just different for the summer. We're doing one service. Old people are meeting new people and fighting over chairs. Some of you are getting here at 6:30 and parking in the parking lot. Whatever. But my goal is to just continue bringing everybody together and say, look, all this stuff in our life, take the right stuff. Take the stuff that means something to you. And I think this place and what we do, we are changing the world. And everyone's sitting one heart at a time. And sometimes some of you guys are a little harder to move. But I'll get you. I'll get you. That ends your lesson, everybody. Thank you. Thanks, Eddie. Thank you, buddy.
Are you sure you want to go? You sure? I got to keep asking the question. What the heck? At this time, we are going to be doing our offertory, so I would like to invite the ambassadors to come
And
forward.
whoever has that $200,000 check to put in today,
Yeah.
we're embracing that in the moment. So just
Thank you. We say thank you.
I'm
Let's not forget. Okay, so as you prepare your love offering, I just want to say how grateful we are for all that you give to us that allows us to keep our doors open all summer long and to pay our electric bills and to be here for you. So we thank you very much. And look at how squished we are. Okay, so if you want to text your, if you want to text your offering, you can. So let's go ahead and say our prayer. Put your love offering on your heart and join me as we say, I offer this gift with joy and gratitude. I receive freely and give freely, knowing the law of circulation is working perfectly in my life and the life of this center.
Every It's up to me to be thankful. It's up to me to be kind. It's up to me to be grateful. It's up to me. It's up to me. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life.
You need to turn around. She's shy. This is one of our most wonderful actually, they're all wonderful, but she is super special. This is Vicki. I'm going to let you say whatever you want to say, girl.
I just want to say that I made it with this church that helped me and to trust your journey that you're on.
Right on. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, no, you're not going anywhere yet. Oh. We got to bless, and then you can go. So let's go ahead and bless this collection as we say, we bless this collective offering and receive it with gratitude, knowing it is spirit in action. As this currency flows through our center and beyond, it blesses many lives, including my own. Thank you, Vicki.
So this just in. My motto, remember I told you what I thought my motto was? My sister just told me, who's live streaming from West Virginia, your motto is all things happen for your best and highest good in the right time, not your time, God's time. So I have to revise my motto because she's right, I do say that all the time, but I had to say that out loud, so that's the new motto, right? All things happen for your highest and best good in the right time, not your time, God's time. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you. Thank you. So if there's anybody here, this is your first time at our center, I'd invite you to stand up so that we can give you a gift. Stand up. We're not going to make you come up here and talk, I swear. Just stand up. That's it. We're giving you a gift, so all you need to do is go to the desk in the front area of the foyer, and they'll give you a beautiful little thing to take home with you. And if you would like to become a part of our spiritual community, we would love it. And if you're just visiting here, you can still be a part of our community because, as you know, we live stream. So we welcome you, and we're grateful you were with us today. And following services, we've got the practitioners and ministers over in the Ohm Room. And if you just need a little prayer, they will pray for you no matter what is going on in your life. We pray when there's something good we want to bring up. We pray when we're going through a challenge. We pray when our computer is not working either. Prayer is good for everything. So go see them. They're lovely. I know Mimi may not be back there because she's running the front desk, but we have other people there, and they're remarkable. So see them if you like. And the Ohm Room is just across the way. And next, I think, is our calendar. You can see what we have going on next week. I always like to remind you guys, we do have a grief group that meets Tuesdays at 5 p.m. So if you're walking through any kind of loss experience, join them. They're a wonderful, loving group of people. And sometimes we just need to be with people who understand loss and can give us support. So join them at 5. Also a reminder, there will be no Soul Sisters on Thursday night. I do want to tell you, though, my Sacred Circle will be taking place on Thursday at 9 a.m. If you want a little spiritual community, we have a lot of fun. And so you can see the rest of the calendar. And again, Lori's class starts next Sunday, the Energy of Money, and it's Game Day Potluck Day. We got so much going on here, right? Okay, well, I want to thank you all for being here today and being a part of this wonderful experience. I want to thank Dr. Joe for always just blowing it out of the ballpark for us. You amaze me, and I love you so much. And you can tell him how great he is when you leave, because he likes that. Now he's leaving. Okay. Anyways, I want to thank everybody who was a part of this service, William and Barry in the back, and Jeff, who makes everything work right, and Elizabeth and Julie and Steve, who take care of everything before we get here. The band, of course, Jerry Lynn, and oh, wow. Are there any CDs out there or anything? No CDs for anybody?
No.
Okay.
So just go to chasehuda.com
Okay. Wonderful.
and go to Anthony Patler on Facebook.
Great, great. We love you guys, and thank you for, today was just a real special day. And I also want to thank you guys, because we couldn't do this without you, without your desire to elevate your consciousness and be a presence of good, a presence of God, so that we can elevate our entire world, so that we can bring peace, love, and understanding. And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pray us out so we can go have brunch, because it's getting to be brunch time. So if you're comfortable closing your eyes and joining me in the knowing and the understanding and the remembering that there is only one power, one presence, one source. I call it God, I call it Spirit, I call it good and very good. And I am knowing that where I stand right now is holy ground, and every step I take, it is holy ground, because we are Spirit expressing. And so I'm grateful to know that this week of Independence Day is a day to celebrate the goodness of our country and the presence of God as it is emerging through all of us to create a better place for everyone. And I know for us individually that we are ready to break those chains that keep us from seeing who we are, the divine in all ways, shapes, and forms. And so I know that as we walk through this week, we are lifted up. Our eyes are open to seeing the good that is everywhere present. We're able to see our power to create a life that works for us, that is filled with all that is good. And so with that said, I'm just grateful to know that all is well in the universe, because it does operate in an orderly fashion. And that order is unfolding through all of us and everything that we are doing and in our world, no matter what. And so knowing that we are blessed, I know that we come to this world as love, as we just share our energy with others to lift people up who might not be feeling so good. And knowing just that smile brings good to whoever we are in contact with. And so knowing that everything is always unfolding in its right and perfect way through love and law, through grace and ease, I release my word as law, knowing it is done. And so please join me as we say together, and so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful week, a wonderful holiday.
Stand in the end, can still be you. One that's done all the things you set out to do. Stand, there's a cross for you to bear. Things to go through if you're going anywhere. Stand, they will try to make you crawl. When they know what they're saying makes sense at all. Stand, all the things you know are real. You have you to complete, and there is no deal. Stand, stand, stand. Everybody now. Stand, stand, stand. Stand. You've been sitting for much too long, so you're permanent crease in your right and wrong. Stand, don't you know that you are free? You are free in your mind if you wanna be. If you wanna be. Stand.
Stand in the
And
you'll
still be you. One that's done all the things you set out to do. Stand, stand, stand.
Come on now.
Stand, stand, stand. too long.
Get up, there's
You're a permanent crease in your right and wrong. Stand, don't you know that you are free? You are free in your mind if you want to be.